Dan Munson, who chairs the library board, will be making a presentation regarding the library's position.
Thank you for having this meeting today and listening to some people. We have been before you before. We've brought charts, we've brought pie graphs, we've brought all kinds of stuff. You've looked at numbers and all of that. Figured when Susan asked what we wanted to do today, I said, let's not do that again. We've done that. We've seen these things. They're all available for you. What I wanted to do today was address some of the rumors and some of the scuttlebutt that's kind of been going around town as to why aren't they doing this, why aren't they doing that, to try to address that. As some of you know, there was an email that went out this afternoon, I believe, to some or all of you that I got a copy of as well. I sent you an email saying that I would do my best to address those questions today. So I have that. Hope you're here ready to sit for a while.
I don't think I got that.
I didn't.
You didn't? Okay, well, you'll see it in your inbox later. The first question in the email was, is this a good time to be moving on another city project when we have so much going on right now and so much money being spent on these projects? First, I'd be curious how much money is being spent. Are people looking at the costs of the project or the actual dollar amount being spent? There is a difference, just as we hope there will be a difference in our project. If it's a $3 million project, that doesn't mean we are spending $3 million to build that project. We're hoping to use grants, we're hoping to use other things. There can be a difference between the cost of the project and what we're spending on it. Secondly, no one has ever answered the question, to my knowledge, when is a good time? When doesn't a city have multiple projects going on? Okay, I mean that's a pretty basic question. Third, it is your job as city councilors and mayor to decide what projects are important to a city and to list those projects in priority. For at least a decade, talk of a new library has been given the lowest priority. We ask that you as elected officials listen to the city residents who put you here and give consideration to making this project a higher priority. Fourth, the question continues to be asked, is this a good time? But in truth, the question is tomorrow a good time? We're not building today. We're looking forward. We are attempting to make plans for a project to be done in the future. Who can predict the future? Is today a good time with all the projects going on? Maybe not. But if anybody has a crystal ball that says what's going to happen next week, next month, or next year, I'd love to get a hold of that because I'd like to get some lottery numbers. Cities don't hibernate. We can't crawl in a cave and wait for another day to plan for tomorrow. Many of the other projects are likely to be done before we even go out and raise our first dollar. Holding today's projects against a plan for the future is not appropriate. Second question in the email. If this project were to get going, it would require contributions from the community. I think, this person says, I think I mentioned in a previous email that I had stopped counting at 18 fundraising projects in our community already, including, this is what the writer said, including the motel and Roger Brooks. How many times do we go to the well? First off, I don't think we're fundraising for the motel or for Roger Brooks. I could be wrong, but I don't believe so. This is a good question, though. How many times can we go to the well? This is another prediction for the future. I don't know. But I do know that this is one of my challenges and one of the challenges of my board. This is not a challenge for you at this table. This is something I have to worry about. I also know that when a well runs dry, there are three options. One, you dig the well deeper. Two, you dig a second well. Three, you close up shop and admit the well has run dry. All right, I lied, there's a fourth option. Fourth option is we seek an alternative source other than a well. And that's precisely what we're doing here today, taking a step in another direction, seeking another source. Grants are a fantastic alternative source which will greatly help the well. Question number 3, do we want to put a public building in a prime downtown lot that could be used for business that pays taxes? A prime downtown lot that sat vacant for 2 years? That prime downtown lot, is that what we're talking about? The one that sits opposite another building that has been vacant for 2 years? That prime downtown lot? An awful lot of people have addressed the idea of separating the library from City Hall. These are usually the same people who say the facility shouldn't take up prime downtown space. I'm sorry, but I don't think you can have both arguments in the same breath. We want to stay together in part precisely so that we are not taking up too much prime space. Why send City Hall to another location when there are so many advantages to staying together? I get held ahead of myself here. It seems to me that there are still prime downtown lots available, possibly even more if some factions have their way and get rid of the muni. A library actually brings in traffic to a downtown. What downtown business has foot traffic of 30,000 or more? When those people are in a library downtown, where will they go for snacks? Where are they going to go to do their banking when they're done checking their emails? To pick up that gallon of milk that they remembered after grabbing a movie or a book that they're checking out. They will go to nearby businesses. When that same library is not near the downtown businesses, those people are closer to a 40-60 split as to those who visit businesses and those who head home. Without a library, those people will seek out a library in another town. They will then spend those business dollars, do their banking, have their cars serviced in another town. We want to keep it here and support our local businesses. Question number 4 from the email. Have we factored in the long-term possibilities like the school, building a new facility and vacating the old? What do we do with that much empty building? Or the liquor store closing, leaving a vacancy right next to the fire station, EMT station, police station? Could this be a city hall? And we still have the old clinic building and the TCE warehouse, which we are still looking for new owners. This one makes me chuckle a little bit. The previous question asked about the library taking a prime downtown space, and now it's asking about all the empty space that's available. Why is the space that we wish to have prime, but the empty building across the street not prime? I don't understand the logistics. Again, who can predict the future? Do we hold all of Rushford to a standstill because the old school might be available someday? Frankly, I personally like the idea of a school as a possible city center. But who can say when it will be available? As you may or may not know, I'm also chair of the School Board of Education, and I am not aware of any legitimate offers for that building as a city center, nor of any immediate intent to build a new school. And there's still the cost. The school is in need of a great deal of repair and restructuring. We would still be looking at least a $3 million project, I guess, probably a great deal more. And it would not give the city a state-of-the-art heating and cooling operation. Cost of operating the city center would become a tax burden. Ask Mr. Ayler back there how much the school spends on heating in the winter. Now, put that cost on your taxpayer. It does not make good financial sense. Question number 5 from the email. With the whole library concept changing rapidly, that is e-books, ordering books from Selco, books on computer, etc., what will a modern library look like or require in 10 years? And I want to come back to that. It's my favorite question.